In the last 70 years alone, the Chronicles of Narnia have been one of the most popular children's book series ever written, with over 100 million copies sold. There's no surprise that there's been various media adaptations. The 2000s Disney and Fox movies are probably the most well known, and the BBC series of the 80s still remains to be a fairly remembered show of its time. And then there was the 1979 animated special that aired in 2 parts on CBS. However, superseding all of these adaptations was the 1967 TV series based off the first book and sharing the same title, The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. Produced by ABC and airing on ITV. It was initially planned that the series was going to be done in a Jack and Nori style, featuring a host reading the story and intercut with illustrations as an indicator of what was happening in the plot. However, producer Ian McKenzie pushed to expand the production values of the show, since McKenzie was a very religious man, and the Narnia stories are very faith-based. He wanted to treat the series as a very special production. A core narrator was still included at the heart of the show. This was allocated to the character Diggory Kirk, a reoccurring character in the Narnia series. Although in the TV adaptation he's only referred to as the Professor. He was played by Jack Wilgar. He was fairly typecast throughout his career, playing eccentric old men. Whovians may recognise him as Sergeant Arnold in the Doctor Who serial The Web of Fear. The host segments of the Professor were now intercut with a theatrical live-action drama. Or at least as theatrical you could get for 1960s television. Some minor location filming was done for the show. The private school of Rathner House, Sevenoaks, was chosen as the Professor's house. Each episode was budgeted at about £700 each, and had a runtime just under 18 minutes. The show ran weekly in 10 parts, from July 9th to September 10th. Unfortunately, ABC didn't have the necessary resources to extensively archive their programs. As a result, out of the 10 original episodes, only Part 1 and 8 still exist. And there's additionally off-air audio recording from Part 7. For many years, the surviving episodes were really inaccessible to view, and with very few promotional or behind-the-scenes images resurfacing over the years, it was very difficult for Narnia fans to envision as to what the project looked like. It wasn't until in 2010 that episode 8 was unofficially uploaded to the internet. The leaked episode appeared to have been ripped from a VHS. And judging by the quality, it seems to have been copied down by several generations. When the content of a VHS gets copied over to another tape, the video gradually loses its original resolution, leaving you with a very washed out image and a lot of unwanted artifacts. And unfortunately, the original upload had removed 1 minute and 30 seconds from the beginning, and it was split within 2 uploads, cutting out 30 seconds within the middle of the episode.
You know that unless I have blood, as the law says, all Narnia will be overturned and perish in a holocaust.
This is the truth. I do not deny it.
Oh, Aslan, can't we... I mean, you won't, will you?
In May of 2021, both surviving episodes were made available on the DVD series ABC Nights In, being a compilation of various other British programmes produced by ABC during the 60s.
What are these things? They're Daleks! God, I thought it was Morecambe and Wise for a minute.
Episode 1 was featured on the DVD set Your Faces Are All Blurred. This was the first time that Episode 1 was available in any form since its original broadcast. And then Episode 8 was on the set Don't Go Away, I Could Do With a Bit of Cheer Right Now. This was the first time that the episode was released in any official form, finally allowing viewers to watch it in crystal clear quality. As well, the transfer was complete and uncut, restoring back in the opening title and the previous week's cliffhanger, and as well the missing 30 seconds within the middle of the episode.
You know that unless I have blood, as the law says, all Narnia will be overturned and perish in a holocaust.
This is the truth. I do not deny it.
Oh, Aslan, can't we... I mean, you won't, will you?
However, at the time of recording this video, the audio to episode 7 has not yet been made available to the public, either leaked or officially, and it still remains to be seen if it ever will. While it's difficult to fully evaluate the series, as while we've only got the very beginning and partially the ending to watch, from what we can see, the atmosphere of the series progressively changes. Episode 1 is light-hearted and very gentle, which reflects the plot of the episode, Lucy having dinner with Mr. Tumnus. Nothing too epic or too grand, just a very quick and quaint journey into Narnia. And the next time tease is very minimalistic.
And Edmund is next through the wardrobe to go. You wonder what happens? Next week, you'll know.
But then, 8 weeks later, the episode starts with a skirmish to rescue Edmund, and then a deal is done to save his life between Aslan and the White Witch. However, the kids don't know as to what the exact conditions were for the deal, with the episode ending with Aslan fleeing into the forest. The ending narration reflects the situation.
Lucy and Susan walk with him at night. But what meets their eyes is a terrible sight.
I almost wonder that if in the rest of the show, that the tension of the threat of the White Witch would have progressively escalated from episode to episode. Or maybe part 8 is tonally different from the previous parts and I'm just overthinking all of this.
Isn't there something you could work against it?
Work against the Emperor's magic! Never make that suggestion again, any of you!
Regardless though, I will commend the makers of this program for being quite ambitious to try and visually illustrate the Narnia book. They've gone for a bit of a Wizard of Oz approach to bring the animals to life, by turning them into costume characters. For a TV budget at the time, it was probably the most efficient way to bring them into the program. Sure, it's a little odd that the main animal characters have their eyes and mouths visible and the added extras dressed up as animals don't. But again, since it's a television show budget, they could probably only spread themselves so thin. And from what's available, they don't excessively rely on the narrator to dart away from visually complex shots. Like they still show the witch and her servant transformed into inanimate objects. While the narrator certainly condenses down the story, the filmmakers still show a lot of ambition. With how almost bookend the surviving episodes are, it's really a shame that we can't watch the whole series to see on how the storyline would have naturally progressed. At least from what little still exists from the show, I can say that I've enjoyed this short trip to Narnia. If you've enjoyed this video, then be sure to give it a like, and if you want to see more content just like this one, then subscribing would be humbly appreciated.